Hey everybody, Steven here, and today I'm doing an unboxing video for the Kraken X headset here. So this is the 270 gram one. They have a light one which is 250 grams, so you're looking at like 0.59 pounds versus 0.55 pounds. So small difference, but I've always wanted to try the Razer headsets. I've put them on for a second at Best Buy. They've always just weighed a little bit too much for me, but I figured I actually have to get one and try it for myself. This one I'm actually going to have my son try as well. He's needed a new headset for his Xbox, and the cool thing with this is it's going to actually work on PC, Mac, PlayStation, Switch, Xbox, and your smartphone. So the other one I just reviewed, I have the Cloud X wireless Stinger here, and with this one it only is going to work with PlayStation, so kind of limits you. But Razer does the same thing, Corsair does it. It's like, all right, well, we have like 20-30 different variations on these models. Some work with PlayStation and PS4, some work with PlayStation and Xbox only, or just Xbox, or just PlayStation, or just Switch, and they get to kind of tinker with the look a little bit. But this one just drew my eye. Big thing with this is the price was, it was on sale for $39.99. That's very affordable with this. It looks quality, and it's normally $49.99, but I got it on sale. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing open. I've just always liked the look of their products as well. Got that. We have our little booklet there, instruction manual. Pull it out. There it is right there. So let's get this thing out now. Let's see how this works. All right. So big thing for me, and I've talked about it on the other reviews, is comfort. I don't like a ton of pressure on my head. When there's a lot of pressure on my head, it just gives me headaches. So with this, I'm hoping that that's really the case, is that with it being a little bit lighter, it's not going to be a problem. Now this is 270 grams. This wireless headset is 270 grams. So they should feel very comparable. And that one is very, very comfortable. But I can tell you this feels light. It is, from what I can tell, outside of the mesh here, this looks all plastic, where a lot of these other ones, it actually has a little bit of metal to it. The heaviest one I have right now is the Corsair HS70. Has a lot of metal on it, but that thing is heavy. All right, let's try this on. Yeah, this is light. It's super comfortable. Ear cuffs are an important thing to me as well. This one has, it's like, I don't know, it's pleather, that fake leather, right? Whatever the material is called. With this, the thing I will say is, and this just happens for me a lot, my ears get sweaty. They have a tendency to get a little bit hotter. Now, if you look at my Philips one, and these are my go-to, they have been for a while. I think these are the SHM 9500s, I believe. I may be saying that wrong, but these, the material is different, and they're just super comfortable. I'll put a link for these in the description. I love these. These are my daily drivers, but they're stereo only. The Cloud Stinger wireless here, this is stereo only as well. But if you're looking at this, we have the 7.1 surround sound. That was another draw with this. You look at the HS70 here, we have the 7.1. I reviewed the Logitech G533, that's the 7.1. So curious to really try this out. We have the microphone right here. It's not detachable or anything that I can tell, but it does bend, which is nice. And then we got our cord. And then that one shoots off at that 90-degree angle. That may be an issue for some people, but it did come with another straight one if that was something that you needed to do. And this actually acts as an extender as well, it looks like. Yeah, so that thing will go really, really far. I like when they include stuff like this. Alright, so we have a splitter here, and this is going to be, well, the splitter on this is going to give you the microphone and the headset. So if you're going to be doing audio on a PC and it needs that, here you go. So I like that, but what I'm going to do from here, and I always like to do this, I like to actually use the microphone on this to talk about the specs with the thing that I'm reviewing, if it has a microphone. That way you guys get to actually hear what is this going to sound like, because I know a lot of people just do a snippet. I'm going to give you a huge chunk of it. I'm not going to alter the audio. All I'm going to do is try to make sure that these levels are pretty equal to what you're hearing right now, and I'm not going to mess with anything. There's no filters or anything like that. So let's go ahead and talk about the specs with this. I'll game for a second as well and just talk about my just first initial impressions with this, and then we'll wrap this video up. Alright, so this is going to be the microphone with the headset here. I did have to tweak some settings in Windows with this. I actually had to boost this by 30 decibels, and then I actually have the noise suppression turned on. There is no pop filter with this though, so sorry, you're going to hear a lot of that throughout this video. And it's okay. It does sound a little bit tinny to me, but it's not horrible. It's decent enough for doing chat, but you're probably not going to want to record with this thing that much. In terms of the specs though, this does have 7.1 surround sound. This has 40mm drivers. This only weighs 250 grams, which is a little over half a pound. The microphone is bendable, and I've actually had to bend it away from my face just a little bit because of the popping, and like I said, it doesn't actually have that pop filter, so something to keep in mind. You can bend this, just don't keep it close to your face, and if you pull it too far away, you're going to have issues with people actually being able to hear you with that. The microphone is a cardioid mic, which is supposed to reduce background and ambient noises for crystal clear communication, and it seems to do a pretty decent job at that. And then in terms of controls on the headset, you just have a volume scroll wheel and then a mic mute switch. This is a 3.5mm connection, and then it also comes with a splitter just in case you need to split off the audio in and then the microphone. The cool thing with this is it's actually going to connect to your PC, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, mobile devices, your Xbox, whatever it may be, versus being proprietary to one particular system. Alright, so now that we've covered the specs, let's go ahead and get into the things that I've liked about this so far with my initial impression. So the first big thing is going to be the look. I think in terms of the aesthetics of this, it's probably one of the best looking headsets that I've owned. I like the other ones, but something about the look of this is just really, really cool in my opinion. Second thing is going to be the weight. That's a big deal for me. I've talked about this with all the videos before. I just don't like a ton of pressure on my head, and these are very, very lightweight, and they're pretty comfortable with the actual memory foam that they have for the ear cuffs on this. The next thing is going to be the 7.1 surround sound. It just makes any game more immersive, and if you've never played with 7.1 surround sound, I definitely encourage you to give it a try. It may not be for everybody, but in my personal opinion, it just makes any game experience way more immersive. The last thing is going to be something in regards to just any headset that has the 3.5mm jack to it, which is that with this, it's not proprietary to a console or anything like that. So with this one, I get to switch between all the different things that I may be using. And each company is going to have wireless headsets these days where they're going to make it proprietary to a particular console, for instance. So I just did an unboxing video for the HyperX Cloud wireless headset, and that one is for PC and PlayStation 4 only. So if you have a Nintendo Switch or an Xbox and you bought it, it won't work at all. With this, you don't have to worry about that, which I think is a really big upside. And considering the cost being the $50, it's not horribly expensive either. Now you could pay 10-20 bucks more and you could get a wireless headset, but that also comes with charging of that wireless headset. Is it going to work on the console that you want it to work on if you're actually going to play on console? There are other factors that you're going to have to consider, and with the 3.5mm head jack, you don't have to worry about that at all. Alright, so now that I've covered everything that I like about this, let's go ahead and talk about the things that I don't like about this with my initial impression. The first one is going to be, it is super light, but the ear cuffs themselves seem a little bit small for my ears. And I'm not a big guy. I mean, I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds. I'm not massive by any stretch. But with this, it just seems like they're almost made for a kid or a teenager because of how small they kind of feel compared to my other headsets, which just have a bigger ear cuff. It just has more space and it just cups my ear a little bit better. For example, the Corsair HS70 completely engulfs my ear. Same with my Philips SHP 9500. It just covers my whole ear. This one actually takes the back of my ear and kind of scrunches it up a little bit. The good news is my son is going to be getting this headset and it works perfect for him. So if you are a parent looking for a headset, this would be a great option for your kid, or if maybe you just have smaller ears, maybe I just have really big ears, I don't know. But that is something to consider with that. The next thing is going to be the 3.5mm jack. I like that, but it also is a little bit short. You can use the splitter as an extension, which is an option, but then it starts to get a little bit heavy. I just would have liked to have seen the cable be maybe another foot or two, because right now it's probably only 3 feet. It's just not very long. Now if I'm with the controller and it's right in front of me, that's not an issue, but with my PC, this thing is actually kind of stretched out and I don't like that. Next is going to be the microphone. It's not the best. It's decent for the price point here, but the big thing for me is the lack of the pop filter. I would have liked to have seen that at least in the package. Like I could take that on or off, and it's just a tiny piece of foam, and I could actually probably pick one of these out from one of my other headsets, but it just would have been nice to actually see that as part of this. And then the last thing is going to be the material on the memory foam ear cuffs here. It's like a pleather, it's like a fake leather, and I actually have a couple headsets that have that, and this is like a universal complaint. It's that these get really hot, and so my ears start to sweat, and then it just feels gross when I'm wearing the headset. But like I said, that's more of a universal complaint with that. So that is going to actually be it for this. I'm going to put a link for this in the description, so if you do want to check this out for yourself, you can find this on sale a lot of times also. I actually only paid $39.99 for this versus the $49.99, so I did get it on sale. I had the $10 off, which is awesome, and at that price point, I think it is a really, really good deal. So that is going to be it for this video. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all my content, hit the subscribe button for me. Thanks so much for watching.